Uh, now I'm looking at my right-hand side and wanting to get it back a little darker again because it's getting a nice mood to it. Oh, I'm liking that one. Okay, so let's go back. Let's see what we can go up to this third one. Oh, goodness gracious.
You should see that print.
I
Oh,
bet.
it's luscious.
I bet.
I got it on the new paper I'm trying, Ilford Gold Fiber Silk.
Yeah.
It is absolutely delicious.
Oh, I bet it is. This is interesting here, Paul. If I was to go look at the blacks, I guess if you're telling me that you like the print, and it wouldn't be beyond me to make a wild guess, like you have such wonderful shadow details here, and maybe you're on a wide gamut monitor, because I think this looks a little tad on the flat side to me, but I guess it's just going to make a gorgeous print. And when I look, can you see these little blue areas showing up? Do you see I'm toggling them on and off? Maybe one place you may want to look at is like right over here. You see that?
Yeah, that's not even in the finished image.
Well, that's all right. Well, again, I'm trying to act like I don't know you, and you're trying to act. Yeah, but when you do this, again, if I show you the whole thing, there is just very little.
Yeah.
As long as you have a black, I'm guessing if when I print, I still think if you can print just a little tad on the light side, the eye will adjust it. I mean, for the shadow details, this is wonderful. There's not a lot I can add here. The only thing I may want to say on something like this is I see the exciting subtlety, and the other one will have to determine this. I see the wonderful blue sky. I see the complementing wonderful amber pink clouds back here. It's just wonderful. I may want to try to increase that saturation, only probably to reject it. Here is again this shadowing. If you have the opportunity of using Lightroom or Photoshop, and in essence using the Adobe Camera Raw, this little vignette tool is pretty nice, because it not only, I can change this. See that color priority? I'm gonna lighten this up so you can see this a little bit, because you told me you had Lightroom and you have Photoshop, and I would say when you go into Photoshop, if you're starting with Lightroom, open it up as a smart object. You can still do everything else you're doing, but by double clicking the smart object, you can get back into your image. So now look at this effect here, on or off. Now this is a color priority versus a highlight priority. This to me looks like I'm graying out, where this one here looks like I'm maintaining a little more of my color. Yep. Can you see that, or is it too subtle?
Yes.
Okay, but look at when I shut this off, still how much vignetting occurred.
Yep.
So sometimes I'll go through these, and here's a painter overlay. So watch this. Highlight, color priority, painter overlay. Let me go back in the history here so I can show you this. Paint, color. You see that subtlety going from here? Sometimes when I'm dealing with really flat subjects, I will go there, and now it's very unnoticeable, but look at how much is happening. Mm-hmm. So there's a good amount happening, holding the viewer's eye to the middle. If you want, you can take it down a little, but so here is just the subtleties of the before and after. Mm-hmm. And the only other thing I might want to try here, and I do a lot of this, a lot of the trial, and then say, no. Or maybe I say, yeah, I'm a genius. This is just perfect. And come back the next day and say, nah, I went crazy here. I'm looking at...
Bob, a note to jot down. Make sure everybody's looking at this in sRGB.
Yeah.
All right? I'll tell you why. Because when you just brought that image up, and I was looking at it, and I'm looking at the print, and I said there's something wrong. I was on my darker screen. I pushed the button, I'm on sRGB now. But it might be a note to tell somebody.
matter of fact, Paul, it's a perfect note because on the e-salon or when evaluating, people have to be on sRGB because that's the language we're talking, you know?
Yep.
You can do all the things. That's good. All right, I wrote it down here, sRGB. Good point. It should be the start. Matter of fact, even in the letter, if you're working on a wide gamut monitor, I would, it's highly recommended that you go into the RGB mode simulation so you can, it will be a much clearer communication. Okay. All right, so if I look at this, now this is kind of fun. If I pick up a brush, someone says, well, what are you doing here? Oh, Bob, what the hell is going on? Well, again, I want you to think in terms of non-destructive processing because all I'm doing is just look at this brightness. I don't want brightness at all. I'm just wondering if I can suck a little more color out of that. All right, now look at the difference between here. Oops, maybe go down a little more. Whoop, not there. Okay, see if we can see a difference in the color. I may zoom up so we can just see this a little more.
See that line? See where you zoomed up?
Yeah?
Zoom up in the clouds off to the right for the heck of it. See that line
What is
between those clouds?
Is that a jet trail?
It's black.
What is it?
I don't know. It's black, though. What do you want, 1 to 1? Go up 2 to 1 for the heck of it.
What in the hell is going on here?
See that? I had to take it out, of course.
Of course.
But what is it?
I think it's the shadow of a jet trail. But
that's what it might be on the wispy clouds, right?
yeah, and then the plane is behind a wispy cloud and then come back. Yeah, or going this way. Yeah, interesting because again,
there's a dust speck on the far left side, and I took that out.
There's a dust speck on a lot.
Well, yeah, that's. See,
All right,
I went to Photoshop and did that with one drawing of a line.
Sure. I think.
I just wanted to question you.
No,
okay,
that's great. It's great. It's great. But whatever tool of choice you have to remove these, I just would take it a regular or whatever it is, But yeah, gee, that's a funny thing. Here is where I think I may try to see if I could just take the shape of this cloud and match it. Maybe get a little closer, but something to get it out of there. Well, that's very interesting. I think most of the people, and if I went and started a new one that I wanted to block this one out and take it from here, yeah, see, I don't think you would, it'd be hard to notice it because it's such a flat area. So again, the before and the after too,
Yeah, I didn't mean to disconnect you, but I just
no, it's important. It's important because those are the things that some I may miss, and someone may say, well, show me did you know what that is? I don't know how, but we know we can't have it. So again, if I go back to maybe this brush, I'm going to exaggerate this a little bit. And here is, I went up to 100% so we can see the subtle difference here. Again, you got to be careful here because on the screen, it may but I'm just noticing this wonderful blue of the sky and that. So again, here is maybe the before. Oh, let me go here, before and after. It's kind of subtle, but I think it may be there. But here's what I'm trying to be sensitive to. I'm trying to be sensitive to this whole overall beautiful scene, this nice contrast and saturation in colors here. Okay, here's none. And see that little pump just go in there? So now, one more time, because it's so easy for me to do, and I will see if I drive myself nuts. I'm not sure if this blue, and I can go here. Let me dim this down a little bit, but I want to just see if if there is just a little more in this blue that I can bring out. and I'm saturating the blue. Now, if you, again, here is the beauty of working with your Camera Raw and non-destructive imaging. I'm very, very fluent in Adobe Camera Raw. There are many Camera Raw processes out there. But what this is doing is looking underneath this little cursor and saying, hey, do you know what that color is? Well, it certainly does. And can you increase the saturation? So if I look at this before and afterwards. Now be careful here because it looks exciting on the screen. And then you may find in a print it's a little too garish. So again, the subtlety from here to here. But you see that little nuance happening in the screen?
Yes. Yep.
So again, just looking at this, there's not a whole bunch we could do here, but I think what we did was whatever that black scratch was gone, we just put a vignette around the edge. This is the before, this is the after. A little more saturation in the clouds and a little more blue. And if that's what you're doing, but if you like the painterly quality of this, but I like it sitting there, although something like this, and I've been working, trying to explore some of this lately, is not so much a black and white, but more, this pastel. Well, there's our session. That's what I need a timer, Paul. Paul, that's what I need. So it goes there and say, okay, we're moving along pretty good. Don't worry about the time. Are you holding out okay? Your exhaustion level, your focus is okay? I want to go a little more because A, I want to, or B, I don't want to. But if
you went from 320, you went from 326 to now, or actually 5 minutes off till we started playing around with it.